Hello, how's it going? How's your day been so far? Mine has been alright. I didn't get to say hi to my wife or bye to my wife this morning. I woke up late. I think I woke up to her shutting the door on the way out, so these things happen. I'll see her later tonight. I feel like I should shift this over more. There we go. That way, like, when I lean my head to the side, I'm not, like, completely hidden by chat. Say Gex. How are y'all doing? I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. It feels like this segment every morning should have like a name, so I'm like, but first coffee? I mean, that's just definitely like, it's a mood. I was working on some stuff for Secret Project. I hope that Secret Project will be available by tomorrow. Because I would like it to drop tomorrow. New month, new shit. That seems like a good thing. There are a couple pieces of logistics that I don't quite have a thing. It's not going to be Rev game. No, don't worry about it. Finished my exams, so I'm resting and eating garbage. That is the life, man. I always got sick after finals. Because the stress and all that jazz. But yeah. Let's see, what was I doing this morning? I was listening to this, I found, like, I don't know, I was kind of messed up last night. I took some, should I spend $350 on Lego? Like, one Lego set? If you got the money, and you enjoy Lego. Legos are horribly overpriced, and there's barely any markup for the, okay, multiple sets. But Legos are, like, that expensive now. Buy the League skin. Is the League skin 400 or 200? I forget. The one for the guy who never historically ever wore a skin in the entire time. 500, Jesus Christ. The guy, okay, so they made this $500 skin for Akiri, who's one of the heroes in League of Legends. They made it in honor or respect of this like really good player. I don't know the full story, but the guy apparently never wears skins when he's playing, right? So like, well, he did once on accident. So that's like the one time he's used a skin. And so they gave him a commemorative skin that you can buy for $500. It's for one character exclusively, his favorite. Man, I'm not the one to like tell anyone how to spend their money, but that does not seem like a good deal to me. I do not care about any character in a video game or any content creator, streamer, or competitor in any sport or basically anything like that enough that I'd pay $500 for it. I'm not going to get like a $500 cup holder or cup for I don't know, fucking Duncan Rhodes or whatever. Trying to think of someone who's got like an equivalent sway in the Warhammer world, and the guy who used to do the painting videos for Warhammer, I think, is one. There's a 1,000-year door mod that changes the walk cycle for Mario, so we always hits the Grady. The one that I've been hearing the most about is the one where it changes the translation back to the original translation, but only exclusively during the Vivian segments, because we don't really care about censorship in games. We care about I don't want to say political correctness because that's not quite the term. Removes transphobia, but bad. Yeah, this is one of those times where it's like, actually, I'd prefer there to be more transphobia in that game. There are two genders, male and political. Yeah, there you go. I mean, like, I am not going to play that game just because I'm, like, not interested in it. It does seem like it's just better Did something happen with the remake? No. They just they took out some of the catcalling of Goombella. That's true. There's an incident that happens fairly early on in the game where previously they're like, "Oh, come here, you know, honey baby," you know, kind of shit, and they took that out and replaced it with something else. And but they didn't. They accurately translated the Vivian arc. So like, you know, that involves a little bit of transphobia, but like you can't really have a trans character whose thing is that she's getting horribly bullied by her sisters not have that transphobia. Like, unfortunately, that's a significant part of her character arc. So like, I feel like that we can have a little transphobia as a treat in support of trans people, which is weird. This is very weird for me to say. Yeah, I mean, like, if her sisters don't respect her identity, then like that totally makes sense that they'd be transphobic about it, or at least one of them. Yeah, the one just goes, "Boo." Hey, Danny, how you doing? But yeah, other things have happened. Oh, I saw this really awful. I saw this really stupid thing that happened. I gotta find like a clip of it. Give me half a second. Okay.
Also tonight, a Washtenaw County judge.
Okay, this bit is fucking hilarious. Pull this up on the main screen. I mean, you guys have probably already seen this, but this is like one of the stupidest things. See, main screen turn on. I don't know if you guys have seen this bit, but it's good. All right.
Also tonight, a Washtenaw County judge has gone viral for his reaction.
Jacqueline, this sure does have.
Shut up.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second.
You can see the shock on his face. Judge Cedric Simpson, nearly speechless.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
This hearing happened on May 15th in Washtenaw County. The defendant, Corey Harris, had a suspended license.
Yeah, he's got shit to do, man. He's got shit. I gotta go to the doctor's office. Give me half a second. You guys are interrupting my day with this bullshit. What am I in here for again?
Proceeding from behind the wheel. Never mind the fact, Michigan is a hands-free state, meaning it's illegal to hold your phone while driving.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
Harris's attorney went on to request a 4-week adjournment.
And he was just driving. And
Look at the defense lawyer there. He's just like, or the prosecution. He's just like,
he didn't have a license.
But first, the judge needed to get some things straight.
Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
There's a long pause.
look at the judge. Like, what are you supposed to be doing about that? Like, yeah, sorry, I can't come in. I'm driving around on my phone, which is illegal, and then also it's what I'm being charged for is driving without a license. It's like, you stupid son of a bitch.
And it's no glitch. Then comes the ruling.
I don't even know why he would do that. So, the is revoked in this matter. defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
What are you complaining about? Oh my god. It's like, did you not think that might be a bad fucking idea to be doing exactly the thing that you're being drug into court for while you're being drug into court? Like, I'm not saying the judicial system is perfect or anything. I'm just saying, like, that was a stupid fucking plan. That was a stupid decision on his part. And just like his lawyer is instantly like, "Hey, can we have a 4-week adjournment? Hopefully long enough for you to forget about what the fuck just you saw." He did it knowing he knew exactly what he was going into court for. 100%. He's disappointed in himself because it only just then clicked. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, as a defense lawyer, what you can even say. Like, what is your defense there? Like, what do you say in behalf of your client? Do you get paid as a defense lawyer? Usually, yeah. I mean, it depends. The best you can do is argue leniency. I mean, like, it's like going into court for drug-related charges and you're out in the lobby actively trying to sell cocaine or something to someone. And then, like, they go, where's the accused? Oh, he's out in the lobby selling drugs. Oh, okay. So what is he being brought in for? Selling drugs. It's like this. What are you doing? Your Honor, where is your, I'm sorry, where is your client? Oh, he's at home playing League of Legends. Was he being brought before the court for today? Playing League of Legends, death. I've seen people who have drank before going to court for drunk driving. Yeah, that's a mental, like, you have an addiction, like, clearly at that point. I'm not telling people how to run their lives, but that is a stupid fucking plan. But yeah. Let's see. What else did I do yesterday? Not a whole lot. Like, I kind of just, like, got off stream and I was just exhausted and didn't do that much afterwards. Hung out with my wife. We watched the end of season 11 of whatchamacallit, Taskmaster. Banger show. Highly recommend still. Still don't have, like, a good book that I'm listening to. But I did stumble upon this random channel that's like a podcast run by... What are your thoughts on House MD? Dude, okay, listen. I watched all of House when it was like a thing. When House was like a show that people gave a shit about, like, we watched it on a weekly. Like, me, my brother, and my mom every week that it came out. Is it actually good? The later seasons where they get the college interns or whatever the hell they are, could maybe argue that the client isn't mentally fit to stand trial, perhaps. Yeah, but I mean that has a whole host of other issues where he's probably not going to be able to drive. or something. Like, the guy's an idiot. But yeah, House is not. I don't know if House holds up. I saw a friend who said they need me on Taskmaster. Some of these people aren't autistic for this shit. Autistic enough for this shit. Yeah, there's I feel like there's a line on how much that being autistic would actually help you there, because like I think it was season 1 where they have to go up to people and ask them like they had to like high five someone who's like 84 or 64 or some weird something like that, and like high five a 55-year-old. That was it. Yeah, I feel like that task would be borderline impossible for autistic people. I have been watching clips of House on YouTube because they'll get recommended. I'm like, yeah, I liked that show. And like, he just comes into the room and he just says like some insane shit. And they're like, oh, it could be lupus. And he's like, fuck that. And then he takes some pills and leaves. It's a good show. It has some issues, and the later seasons are especially boring. I kind of like the original couple of, like the group. It's the Australian guy, what's her name, and the other guy. You have cancer, but you can't see it because of your BL. What? Watch a lot of House. I mean, yeah, like House obviously is gonna go for like the weirdest diagnoses, is the big lobes. This guy needs mouse bites to live. Boy love. Oh, it cut off black. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, yeah, there was that one where it was like it was supposed to be like a skin like condition or something, and they didn't see it because he was black or something. The show is aged kind of poorly in some aspects, sure. Wilson and him are like, I mean, like it's basically just Sherlock Holmes. You've got like asshole Sherlock Holmes who has a drug addiction, and his more reasonable Watson trying to, I mean, that's why he's probably called Wilson. So that way it's Wilson and, you know, Holmes, or, you know, Watson and House. That's definitely what they're going for, where it kind of has like the same like energy, same vibe. Holmes, House. Yeah. I mean, Holmes is a type of house. His name is House. It's literally just that. The episode where the guy had melanoma, but they didn't search him for it because he's black, in the show's defense, that's exposing a real issue in medicine. Yeah, see, that's like, I don't understand enough about these things to be able to have a take on it. I always join stream at the weirdest moments. It's just because I only have weird moments. Like, you could have joined a few minutes ago when I was like, I like it when there's a little bit of transphobia in my games. It made sense in context, and I swear to God, it's good. You should look up Grey's Anatomy plot. Dude, I wanted to get into Grey's Anatomy because I was like, oh, shoot, they're making another House. I love House. I want more House. And then we watched it, and it was like, not House. It was like, just kind of sex. And it was like, and that's like really uncomfortable to watch with your folks. Let me just say. Like, not... There's The Good Doctor. House is a medical drama, technically speaking. Have you watched Scrubs? Scrubs apparently is like the most accurate to how hospitals actually work. I've seen it described as white woman's One Piece. My wife loves One Piece. So I don't think that you can call Grey's Anatomy white woman One Piece. Or, yeah. Because my wife is a white woman. There's parents shows, there's partner shows, and there's ones you can't show anyone. Yeah, actually. Yeah, actually, that's true. 100%. Then what is Bojack's? That's not a show for me, but I think that's a show for, like, show for you and not for you and your partner. Have you played the Daily Horsel? What is a Daily Horsel? Play Horsel. Let's find out what Horsel is. Smiling Friends is for everyone. I still haven't seen it. I know that Vinny was trying to get, like, intro into it. He's like, how do I become a smiling friend? I don't know. I don't know if, like, Vinny is Smiling Friends famous. He's definitely more famous than me. I don't think that takes much to say. BoJack Horseman just does not seem like a show I can deal with this. Like, it's going to be too depressing for me. And I know it might have some, like, you know, upbeat whatevers about, like, depression and stuff. But I guess I should give Smiling Friends a go, because people keep saying that it's great. You know? Like, I don't want a soul-rending show. It's kind of like why I was, like, holding off on Finman for so long, is because it seemed like it was just going to be depressing. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that word. But Finrin or Finrin, whatever. The premise being that this elf lives way longer than anyone else, and then just like all of her friends die. Seems kind of heavy. And I watched it for a bit, and like the first couple episodes are, but I think that it turns around after that. Like, I think it's really like the first couple episodes where you really learn about who died. And then the rest of the season is just her going, okay, hold up. I need to actually, that was a sound. It's about life after the first round of friends are gone. Yeah, exactly. I'm also a little bit concerned about the horny levels of Finrin. Like, I'm like, is this show going to be normal about shit, or is it going to be horny? Because all I see is people talking about it, but also it's like elf chick. So, like, of course the internet's going to be horny about it. Not horny can confirm. Non-horny? Okay. Because I did try and watch Konosuba Season 3. I think I must have skipped Season 2 somehow. And Season 3 of Konosuba is way hornier than I remember. Like, not like as a joke horny, like I feel like it used to be, but as a, like, that's just what we're doing now. Like in season 1 of Konosuba, it was kind of putting a lampshade on the whole like isekai thing, but like then it just became what it was out to like make fun of. Dungeon Mishi is amazing. And is, I feel like any sort of like nudity is, any sort of like state of undress makes some level of sense, excluding the dwarf character who often gets panty shots, which is like everything else that could be considered some level of nudity or some level of like undress is always like reasonable. Like it goes, yeah, that makes sense, and it's not contrived, and no one acts horny about it. No, it's like, oh my god, she's gonna get naked. Guys, should we sneak in and see if we can see her because we're normal fucking people? Like every fucking anime does. I fucking hate that. And then there's no repercussions for it. They're not like, I'm not gonna be friends with you anymore. I'm not gonna hang out with you anymore because you're a fucking creep. Like, real, normal fucking people would. Because anime. Do horsel? It's like Wordle, but the word is always horse. Like, literally? Always horse? I did it. Zero. I was like, is this like a double bluff situation where it's like, maybe it's not horse for once? Like I tried to big brain my way into that and it didn't happen. I would have been really upset had I put horse in and it's like 0 of those letters are in the word. Like one day they need to do that, like April Fool's Day, and just be like, nah. Yeah, Dungeon Mishi, I think that anyone could watch to some degree. It goes real fucking weird, but you know. Weird positive. How's the ghost in your house doing? I mean, I haven't like had any issues with the ghost recently, if we have one, which I don't even know if we do. I mean, like, to be real, the 2 times that I've interacted with our ghost, 3, okay. All can be explained due to normal things. The creaking of the stairs are connected to the other units. So when people go up and down the stairs on their side, it, you know, makes the creaking sound. And because it's attached to the wall, you know, you can hear it. So it's not like the building settling. It's literally like people in their buildings doing stuff. The second time when I saw the ghost, I was high off my ass. Which probably just means that I was high off my ass and I heard someone like creaking in a different like part of the you know, building. So I don't think that counts. The third time, I guess the second time when I saw it, was in a nightmare. Which my wife informs me that I was not like doing a full scream. Because it was like, I turned a corner in a dark like hallway, which apparently was my house somehow. And like there was a ghost hanging by a noose, like on the landing going up the stairs. And so I try and scream, but I can't. And so I try again. And it's still not, just like, no matter what I do, I can't scream, right? Because it's a nightmare. And so my wife wakes me up because I apparently was just going, oh, oh, oh. Because I couldn't scream, so I just kept trying. And then the fourth ghost incident was the thing behind me, which I don't think like I set up quite right. It's like a stand for my lights that I don't have anymore, so I don't know why the fuck I packed some weird shit, man. Anyway, so I'm using it as like a holder for my gas mask now. Gives some visual interest to the walls behind me. But and that fell over, and that's probably because the window was open and the wind caught it, and I didn't stabilize the thing all that well, and it's holding weight in an awkward way that it wasn't designed to hold. So anyway, it's definitely fucking ghosts. Do you want to hear about the Koth reboot? What's a show that you can't watch with anyone? Well, I think that if it's a show that I can't watch with anyone, I don't think I would admit to watching it. Just get a little airflow in here. It's 73 in the office today. I tried watching Goblin Slayer. The intro scene being like guy saving girl from rape. I was just like, you know, I get that that's like a thing that happens, but I don't really want to consume that as media. I already have to deal with enough depressing, awful shit on a daily basis, like when I check the news. I don't want more. I feel like my medium friend would be like, that ghost sounds boring. I mean, like, this building is like old, so it could have ghosts, but does it have ghosts? No. Goblin Slayer's mid that started off with a shock scene to secure initial viewers. I mean, yeah, it did the opposite. I'm a little whatever about Goblin Slayer. Weird piss fetish thrown in there. Maybe I dodged a bullet by like just... It gets boring later too in the manga. Shield Knight sounded ass. Like, we watched a bit of it because like both me and my wife had read a light novel. She read a manga and I read a light novel that like we thought that Shield Knight was the one that we were listening to, and it fucking wasn't. Shield Knight was just like, all right, I just want to go home. And all like everyone was like, fuck you, man. All you have is shield. Isn't this Shield Hero? See, that's, I think the issue is like, there's Shield Hero, but then there's also another one. Because it's just like, it's got, I mean, I watched 73 degrees is not that bad. It's actually kind of chilly in here. Oh, yeah, I was going to talk about Made in the Abyss. Cause like I watched like there's a video that someone made that was talked about like basically like good show, 10 out of 10 would not recommend. And like listening to her talk about it made it sound very interesting. But yeah, the author seems like he's definitely a pedo. So the amount of scenes with small children becomes like very awkward. And so it's like, am I gonna enjoy Made in the Abyss, or is it gonna be weird? The author is very horny for kids, yeah. Because, okay, so the plot of Made in the Abyss is that they built their entire society around this hole in the ground. And this hole in the ground has different levels. And going down through these levels, you know, get better and better treasure. And if you're younger, you're not allowed to go as far in. You get different medals or tags or something. I forget what the system was. But there's some sort of like ranking thing. But going up, through the levels is a whistles. That was it. Going up through the levels can be a problem. It's the mystery flesh pit as like combined with like Dante's Inferno. And just a sprinkling of pedophilia on top. And that's the part that's a problem. So, like, the idea of the plot sounds great. And depending on how they handle, like, the other stuff, like, if it's, like, and it's a bad thing these are happening. The story's too good, and I tend to ignore the pedo parts. I pretend not to see. So many fucking animes are like, sounds peak. Yeah, I mean... I don't know why that is. It's weird, man. Did you know that Fate Stay Night was originally a porn game? Yeah, I don't know what that is about, though. So I may still watch Made in the Abyss and just try and ignore that shit. I'll probably bootleg it, though, because, you know, if that's what the guy is like, then fuck this guy. Land of the Illustrious is good and has the art is beautiful. Sometimes Insanity produces really compelling art. Sure. Oh, what happened to Rurouni Kenshin? Because I remember enjoying that one. But let me just look up Rurouni Kenshin. Author got busted with a massive amount of CP. I was listening to Rage Against the Machine today. Rurouni Kenshin reminded me of this. I had a friend who was super into Rurouni Kenshin, and he knew that I did kendo, and he was like, you know, that's you know, he thought it was cool that I was doing kendo. He was super into Rage Against the Machine, very conservative upbringing, and I was not into Rage Against the Machine. Because I thought it was like, whatever. Like, I didn't get what Rage Against the Machine was about, and I don't think he did either, and we both did it wrong. Like... What's that thing called? Rage Against the Machine? Made in the Abyss? But yeah, no, it was weird because I realized this morning when I was listening to them. Something about kitchen? Oh, Rurouni Kenshin. It's about like a samurai who doesn't want to kill people anymore. So he has the his sword reversed so that the curved side that goes towards him has the blade, but the other side is blunted. So that way he can't, you know. There's no correct way to listen to music. I think that just like my beliefs about the world versus his beliefs about the world's like neither of us got what the thing was about. Because I was just like, this is just like some like whatever shit for like high school kids to be into, and I'm more of an adult than that. I say as I'm in like the equivalent of high school or middle school, And, you know, it's you know, like, oh, I'm angry at my parents kind of shit. It's like, that's not what Rage Against the Machine is. And then he was listening to it, I think thinking that as well. Oh yeah, his sword design makes no sense. As someone who's done, you know, extensive amounts of sword fighting in my life, specifically designed for that style of sword, it's stupid as fuck. You will cut yourself. Your opponent will use your sword against you because you will run into them and they can just push the sword into you. But it's cool because anime. Yeah, I mean, like, there's no reason for his one side of his sword to have a blade at all. Like, why not just have two blunted sides? Also, do you know how much fucking damage you could do with a blunt sword? Like, it's still a chunk of metal. You know? Like, if you slap someone in the head real fucking hard with a chunk of metal, especially if you're a trained swordsman, like, you can get some real fucking damage. Japanese swords weren't exactly strong. Yeah, but they were strong enough to do the job. You know? Yeah, that's one thing I've never got about clerics in, like, D&D, is that, like, oh, I just will use a mace because that way I am not as violent. And it's like, a sword will at least kill someone. You know what I mean? What do I think of Jetstream Sam's gunblade sheath? Stupid as fuck, awesome as hell. Much like the majority of that game, no fucking does not make sense, but it's fucking incredible for it. Yeah, I mean, like, if you gotta kill someone, finish them. You know, like, I don't understand why, like, beating someone to death with, like, a club is more preferable to being, like, just disemboweled or have your head cut off. Like, you'll die faster. Maces are better against armor. True. I'm just saying, I don't understand why clerics are using it as a, like, weapon of, like, subdual damage. Like, I mean, yeah, if you bash someone's brain in with a club, that'll kill them. But, like, you know, maybe if you're trying to take some sort of, like, vow of whatever, you shouldn't just, like, clubs are easier to wield and learn. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't have to have as much training to learn how to use a baseball bat. Like, a baseball bat will just do some fucking damage. You just, like, slam it into someone's face and they die. I wouldn't surprise if it's a nod to how priests used to not want to draw blood, so any torture stuff that wasn't, like, breaking limbs. Yeah, I don't really get how that's supposed to not be fucked up. Like, blood coming out. What is my sword fighter's opinion on scythes? Coolest shit anime weapon, awful for actual combat. You generally do want to have your deadly bit pointed towards your opponent, not yourself. That's, like, key, like, weapon 101. Point the bit that will kill you towards the other guy. That's why you hold guns like this, not like this. It's why you hold swords like this, you know, away from you with the pointy end going that. Spears, same way. Scythe does not make sense for a weapon. It's cool as fuck. Does not make sense at all. Yeah, scythes is, if some guy is charging you, whatever. You know, you use whatever the fuck you can if someone's like trying to murder you and you're just a random guy. Like if you're attending to your fields and like raiders come, you're not going to be like, well, I guess I'll use my fist because a scythe isn't a good weapon. It's like, no, you still use your scythe because like you might as fucking well. You know, like you're in a bad situation already. Like I would use whatever I had immediately available to me. If I was like on a farm and the farm was getting raided, if I was using a pitchfork, use the pitchfork. Have I read Discworld? Discworld is great. Yeah. Pitchfork is solid. I mean, like, spears are a really solid defensive weapon because, again, they don't take a great deal of, like, education to be able to use. I think most people understand the basic mechanics of how to use a spear or a pitchfork. Like, you make the pointy bit point at the enemy, and you try and make that happen. You know? There were literal sword techniques, where you held the sword by the blade to strike with the crossguard. Right, yeah, but like that was just because essentially the European fighting style is more about like wrestling to the ground because the swords were rarely sharp enough to actually do any damage to the armor that you were fighting against. So it was better to just wrestle him to the ground and fight that way. Have you seen War Scythes? Yes. Not a great fucking item. Yeah, I would not treat, like, what is the most efficient melee weapon? I mean, running away is the most efficient weapon, followed by gun. There's really no reason to interact with a combat situation. Like, you should leave. If you can get out of there, fucking leave. But, you know, followed by using a gun. Because a gun is, you know, a solid fucking way of you know, you can go from, I don't know what I'm doing to deadly very quickly. Faster than you can with a sword, you know? How do you, like, turn off the safety? Which end is the gun shooty bit, and which bit is the bit you hold to, like, shoot the gun? Yeah, honestly, if you're getting mugged, fighting them is not a good idea. Because this person has already said, my life is worth whatever that dude over there has in their pocket. Your life is worth whatever is in your pocket. Right? Like, he has already entered this situation with the mindset of, someone is going to die or I'm going to get money. So, like, yeah, don't try and like do some cool guy move where you like rotate around and take the gun from him or whatever. Just give him the money, man. You know, most people don't even carry cash anymore, so you can just get your transactions that you had during that time. Hey, I got mugged. You know, cancel all of the charges that were made during that time. I need a new card. Go ahead and get that replaced. Done. Like, and the thing is, like, even if you've trained in like martial arts or something like that, like they theoretically have the upper hand. Like that they've jumped you. They're on the front foot, you know? Like, yeah, also that's a good idea in general. I would, you know, if you have your phone, I highly recommend putting a password on it right now. And the reason for that is twofold. A, if you get robbed, they don't get a phone. And B, if the cops arrest you, it has been proven that they cannot force you to give the code of your phone up. They could get that information through other ways, like they can, go to the, AT&T or whoever you get your service through. They can get the logs there, but they have to subpoena that. They can't just ask for it. They can't do that. And in fact, you don't have to give up your password. This was found because one of the guys from I want to say the September 11th terrorists, they were trying to get his phone number, and they were like, okay, so Apple, give us the code, like break in. And they were like, no, absolutely fucking not. And this was taken to court, and the court said, even in situations like this, you cannot compel them to give that information up. So, like, you should absolutely put a lock on your phone. And a lot of that was because once that technology to get around their phone lock exists, it's going to get into the larger community in general. And if that happens, then there's no security to their phone lock anymore, and there's no point in having it. So, like, it takes one bad actor in the FBI. And a lot of the things that, like, happen, yeah, cops don't know the law. There's a presumption that every citizen knows every single law. You don't. That's why you get a lawyer, because you don't know the law. It's a tacit admission of a failure of our system that the thing is so fucking confusing that there's no way to know all of the things. It was the San Bernardino shooters. Okay. I remember it was someone going around killing people, like, and they're assholes. Didn't remember exactly who. The cops also don't have to know the law. They're taught how to deal with, situations with force. They're taught some basic laws. They're given a ride along, and that's about it. And one of the more important things that cops are also taught is, do you want to go home to your family tonight? Because every encounter can turn into a violent altercation. And that is the mindset that they're brought into. And it explains a lot of the hostility. That if you think that your life is more important, yeah, surviving edged weapons is kind of like one of the training videos that you would see as a cop. And if that's part of your training is like how to deal with a violent threat. Every altercation can be violent, and here are about 3 laws that you need to know. Now go deal with the streets. It's kind of no real surprise that it's going to be a fucking problem. How do you edge a weapon? You just keep, like, taking it out of the sheaths, but not all the way, just a little bit. The cops also have, like, a shit ton of military surplus because we spend a shit ton on military weapons that we don't need because we're ready for war that we don't actually have. And we have a lot of money going to military weapon manufacturers and stuff locally to be able to keep them ready to go in case if there was an issue. So, like, if Russia decides that they're gonna, invade America or something, we'd have the weapon capability to do something about it. It's like the milk ads in the 90s. Like, we have a surplus of milk because we wanted to make sure that we were ready for this. Is fucking wild, the milk thing. That we have a surplus of milk because we, subsidized it. And so instead of, giving it out or using it to help things, they were just like, all right, guys, we need you to start coming up with inventions on how to do things with cheese and milk. We have not cut up on Dungeon Mishi, unfortunately. On multiple occasions, the Army said they didn't need more tanks. Yeah. And again, this is about national security. We want to make sure that America is ready for war at any given time. So we got to keep that those, manufacturers of those weapons stay state bound in case if there is a, issue. And then, same with milk and corn. That's why corn syrup is in everything, is because we also subsidize that. And that's why everything is made with high fructose corn syrup rather than like sugar. Well, it's very important to every single company to post record profits every quarter because, that's capitalism. The line only goes up. It is more growth all of the time, always growth. And to me, that just sounds like a cancerous growth that cannot sustain itself. If you always have to be making more money, it's just a fucking weird thought process to be like, let's just make it. It's not viable in a universe with finite resources. You can only manufacture so many things out of metal, because there's only so much metal in existence. There's only so many grams of silicone in the universe to make circuit boards and stuff with. At some point, we got to stop doing them. Spaghetti Depressi, are you a sub? Because you should be able to just do that. Also, I missed a resub. Thank you to Elixia for the 51 months of support. Thank you, Kakai, for 8 months of support. Thank you, Orthogonal Caster,
very special boy,
for the gift subs to both Wessel and Punstar. This is a combined. Oh, this is badass. Yeah, this is very Warhammer. It's posted on the Warhammer subreddit. Calendar of Saints, Cleaver, and Pistol. Fuck yeah. I don't know what the Calendar of Saints is, but it makes it so that way there's some cool ass writing on it. And it's a flintlock wheel. Oh. This is a ridiculous weapon. I think that the idea of a gun blade is very silly, but I fucking love it. This also could be a, this could have been made for someone who's a little bit famous, like I don't know, Prince or something, where he's not actually gonna need this. The idea of several kings in European history having armor built for them while they were a teenager is fucking wild. Think about that for 5 seconds. You're growing still, but it takes a while for that outfit to be made. So you have to size them for what they're gonna be in a few months when you actually get done with the metal armor. But it's also gonna be very, very ornate. A lot of adjustment straps. Yeah, but it's gonna be fancy. It's gotta be nice, man. Hey Lena, how you doing? Oh yeah, they had to have armor bulges around the crotch. Because you don't want to have a small penis. That's a fairly consistent thing. Although I believe the Romans believed that huge penises meant that you were stupid. So a moderate to small size penis was important if you were going to be smart. If you had a cool, decorative, impractical gun blade, what would you adorn it with? Dude, like, I love the idea of the calendar. I mean, like, a regular calendar doesn't help. I don't really have anything that I'd want written on there because I don't have anything like a list of tenants that I follow to that degree. The B movie script? I mean, yeah. Adorn it with more gun cleavers. One says fuck around, the other says find out. Yeah. Do what I do on my gun where it says this machine plays folk tunes. But yeah, we should probably get into some like video games and shit here. I don't know about y'all, like I'm enjoying like morning coffee with y'all. Like, I'm enjoying like kind of like waking up slow and just like, hey, what's going on in the world? Look at some funny videos, just have a good time. I'm enjoying this segment of my day. It also gives people a minute to like come in, and it means that there's actually time for me to talk about shit that I'm interested in. This game has a free demo. Yeah, we just found out how much money we've got in our bank account after rent and all that jazz, and I am not buying any games anytime soon. Bloodborne cart, isn't it called something else? Nightmare cart? Got any bounties? I don't think there are any good bounties. Largely, it's because I'm getting paid for the work that I did while we were homeless, which was basically none. It'll be better next month. No, there's not a game I want. Don't worry about any of that shit. I'm just saying I can't buy new games right now. I am not super famous, ultra big time streamer guy. So, you know, I don't have ultra famous big time streamer guy money. So, you know. Oh, it's definitely going to get better. It's just us. It's just like, you know, we're kind of like dealing with the fact that we have to just pay off some debts and shit. Just sell out. I want to sell out good, you know? I want to buy into myself. That's why I look at stuff like Raid Shadow Legends and I'm like, man, that money is good, but holy shit, I do not fucking care about that game. Like, sell yourself to Bezos. I mean, I guess I already have to some degree, right? Because I work, like, I stream on this platform. Being true to yourself is priceless. Yeah. Let's see if there's any sponsorships on Stream Elements that are worth doing. Well, that one's a bootleg. Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah. They're offering someone like me. I mean, I'm never going to take it, so I can say this. They're going to offer someone like me a maximum payout of $20,000. But you will never make that amount. So if you're wondering why your favorite YouTuber is doing a Raid Shadow Legends like thing, that's why. It's got a $530 base payment. So just if you do it, you get $530. But like, yeah, it's based on signups. So like, you're gonna get $20K if you can actually convince that number of people to sign up for it. So it's like, am I actually going to convince several thousand people to install and play through Raid Shadow Legends up to a certain point? Yeah, they're willing to pay that. Where the hell did they get that kind of money? The game is very grindy, from my understanding. And if you want to get around the grind, you spend money. And there are people who do not have time for that. And so they just spend the money, and it fucks up their life. So basically, I'd be like, the only reason that they can make that kind of money is because of the suffering of other people. And it's just like, I don't want that, man. The whales are the investors. The whales would like that's blood money. I mean, like, there's no ethical consumption or capitalism, et cetera, et cetera. But like, holy shit, man. So yeah, it is like, that is life-changing money. Yeah, that would be. That'd be like doubling the amount of money I made last year. But also, holy fucking shit. Like, that is brutal, man. So, yeah, I'm not going to do a deal with them. I prefer games that, like, don't have that kind of monetization structure. And so if a developer wants to give me a code and, like, oh, like, you can get signed up for whatever, like, awesome. But, like, only if I enjoy the game. Nightmare Cart has a free download now, as of 12 hours ago. Well, I think that's what we're playing then. I mean, even if you hit half that amount, like, yeah, 20,000 is a lot. And also that's the amount they're willing to give me, which is like significant because like that's based on what my channel can do as far as analytics go, how many people are likely to actually be able to do it and stuff like that. So like if I am, let's say I'm like a JonTron size, which I know you'd be like, why JonTron? Because he's done Raid Shadow Legends stuff before. They're offering him a lot more money than they're offering me. You know, they're gonna say something like 100,000 or something, and then he'll probably make, you know, half to whatever percentage of that, and so then he makes 50,000 from a video. You know, and then you can 100% just not do multiple videos all the time. Like, we had that breakdown of, like, I posted that the other day on Twitter about, like, all the different, like, how much money you can make from different platforms and how much, like, you'd make from doing XYZ. And, yeah, YouTube does not pay you fucking shit. It pays you 70% of memberships, which is their equivalent of subs, and it pays you like 55% of ad revenue, which most people have ad blocks. You're not actually getting any ads played, so you're not actually getting those 1,000 impressions. So if you're getting a RPM of $4, that is the amount of money you make after 1,000 people have seen an ad. How many people are going to see that ad? Like, how many people actually don't have ad block on YouTube and are going to actually see the ads? Yeah, the YouTube ads suck really hard. So it's just like, do you want to fight that? Like, the amount of money I make after I get, after YouTube takes their cut and my MCN, that's my managers at Screenwave take their cut, is like not even a shift at minimum wage. Like, it's not much, but again, I kind of accept that that's the thing, and it's also part of the reason that I just really feel like I can't put the time and energy into making YouTube videos. It's because it's just like I'm not gonna break even on the amount of time that I spend there. and the algorithm I think is a little fucky, and it's just going to be depressing. Do I want to spend a shit ton of time trying to get a thing across? And yeah, YouTube's ads are annoying. Like, I'm getting ads for internet providers that we don't have in our area. They're like, hey, do you want to upgrade your internet? It's like, yes, I would. I'd always want to upgrade my internet to the best, cheapest internet that I could get. What is this text about? Oh, it's a wife text. She just had a really good idea. Father's Day is coming up. My mom's birthday is coming up. My brother's birthday is coming up. Why don't we just send a big package with, you know, stuff for all of them since they all live in the same house? I'm not going to be a father. What? No. My dad is a father. I'm joking. Please don't kill. Okay. I mean, once we like stabilize our money, we might start talking about impreg. But you know. I looked into Starlink and it is not good money. Like, it's not good internet for the cost here. Konami is charging $70 for a Silent Hill 2 remake. Oof. Oof. And I saw someone complaining about what's her name's outfit. I don't know in which way. So either it was not horny or it was too horny or what. Look at the trailers. Starlink is useful if you live somewhere without infrastructure, sure. And in some cases it would be. $130 a month. Yeah, we spend much closer to like 30-40 for our internet here. So like, she lost the midriff. Okay. Well, the main issue I had with Starlink is that if it gets cloudy out, which it is a cloudy day today, the internet may not work. And like when I was looking for internet, it had been snowing off and on for like days. So it's like, clouds don't bother mine. The woman I spoke to on the phone would say that was a thing. I did see the $500 League of Legends skin. It's not worth $500. I think that's a complete waste of money. Obviously, people are gonna spend their money however they're gonna spend their money, but I don't agree with that. Like, that's fucking insane shit. That's from the source for the thing. Yeah, it's a $500 skin, and it's yeah. Yeah, apparently it's already considered like good behavior to ban the character when someone has the skin. So basically, if you bring that skin to a thing, everyone's gonna ban that character so that way you can't use it. So it's basically $500 to be able to make sure that Ahiri is banned. Which I guess if you don't like Ahiri, you could do that as a way to... You can spend $500 to make your League experience better. I don't know how good she is, but I doubt that she's good enough to, like, ban her for $500. Silent Hill 2 has a deluxe edition that is $80 unless you pay it 48 hours early. Fuck that. A good Ahiri can be total bullshit. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, the point of Starlink is for, you know, rural locations where you don't have good internet. 100%. We have options here. It's not good, but we have options. Ban that chatter for knowing anything about League. Can't go around banning people who play League of Legends. We have to kill them. $500 for a fucking skin, though. I wonder how many people actually bought that. Well, I downloaded Nightmare Cart, so why don't we, I'm gonna go piss. Give me 2 minutes to set up for that, and I'll be right back. Here's 2 minutes of ads. There we go. BRB. This is where the VOD's gonna more or less end for anyone on After Hours if you're watching this afterwards. So just so you know, BRB. 2 minutes. I am back. Oh, wow. That was actually like 2 minutes. Wow. Did not expect 2 minutes to feel like that. I also realized that my hair was lying real flat. I'm gonna probably work on the BRB screen some more later, but like, yeah, trying to add clouds, it just didn't look right, man. It really didn't. I couldn't get them to look the way I wanted them to look. I still really want to get a mohawk, but I can't get like one of the tall ones. I've got to go for one of the flat ones, and I don't really understand how you get beard to mohawk to look good. And beard with no, this. Like, I don't know how you do mohawk to beard. Techno Viking core. I mean, I guess that's what that look is. You would look like this? Yeah, I kind of think that I would, man. Just rock the babyface mohawk look, man. I need to lose some weight. Not because I'm fat, because I want to have a little bit less fat on my face. So I look a little less baby-faced. Anyway, give me half a second and I'm gonna flick the switch on start mewing. Not that hard up on money, man. All right, I'm gonna flick the switch on after hours. So just give me a minute. 3, 2, 1.